Testing.
What's happening? How's it going? Ryan has still not sorted out his studio. Can you believe that? So, I was like, what are we doing? He says, let's do another episode of the sofa season.
Hello.
What is happening? Hello, Ryan Say. Welcome to the OverAndOut show. Sofa season.
Episode
2.
But we say the OverAndOut show, but I'm looking over at you and I can't help but feel something's different. You know, is there some kind of like representation of like a flag or something? Maybe South African? Is that where you're from?
Bit of country pride. What can I say? What do you think? Does it look good?
It's a nice pair of techies.
I'm in bare feet today, bro.
That's the same thing, right?
Techies.
I love that.
No.
I love that.
I'm looking at a pair of techies now. Right. So if you didn't know this already, I'm South African, right?
Yeah.
Hence, obviously you.
Yeah,
know.
I know.
I'm talking to them.
You're South African. I had no idea.
Yeah. There you go.
I thought you were just pure bell end.
Yeah, well, that too, but that's got nothing to do with nationality. Born in South Africa, grew up in Cape Town, and then I live in Northern Ireland, and now I speak to a rat in England. But
I love the way you try and turn that round. It's ridiculous.
Well, he messaged me the other day and goes, "Do you know what tackies are?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're like trainers, like sports shoe, casual shoe things."
Yeah.
And he laughed. I don't know why. So tackies is the like, I don't know. In the UK you say trainers, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. Trainers.
Yeah. So yeah, put your trainers on. We're away for a walk, kind of vibe. Where in South Africa it's like, get your tackies on.
Yeah.
We're away to kick a can around in the street.
And then set fire to a tire or something. I don't know.
Get that stick and your tackies. We're going to roll this tower down the road.
Absolutely.
So there you go. So to be honest with you, I just wanted to add a bit of colour to it today.
Oh, okay. Looks lovely.
I'm wearing board shorts as well.
Oh, you've. I mean, it is. Well, I suppose it is summer in Cape Town, is it not? Right now. Is it coming to the end of summer? Is it?
Yeah, what are we? February. So yeah, towards the end of summer. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So
well,
it's
Yeah. So why are you representing?
Honestly.
Well, yeah.
I was digging through a box looking for something. I found a South African flag. And I was like, oh, there's my South African flag.
Why do you have... Okay, this may sound really stupid, or it's a genuine question. Why do you have a South African flag? Because in my mind, I don't have an England flag or a United Kingdom flag. But if I did,
you know what?
It would probably be because we made it to a final in the World Cup in I don't know, some point in history or something.
So would you have an English flag or a Union Jack?
It's so weird you asked that, because the other day I was going to put something online and I thought, do I put the
online?
Yeah, online.
Where would that on the?
I can't remember what I was doing, but it was like, I think I was doing a story and I wanted to put like the Union Jack or the England flag for location or something, and it threw me for a bit, because I was like, do I put the England flag or to put the United Kingdom flag? And I thought, actually, I because there's part of me, I do like, I mean, you know, I am pro Europe and everything, and pro UK and everyone being together and everything being cool and groovy and all that shit. But I do find the UK flag now to be a bit of a, let's say, a racist symbol. Whereas I find the England flag with the white and just the red cross, I personally see as less racist. So, I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel?
That's a really interesting topic, because I see the England flag as a bit louty, a bit oi oi, oi oi oi. Loads of people going oi oi oi.
Yeah.
You know, like that. That's a crowd at a football game.
I don't know if that's you trying to get in and out of a car very easily or sounding like a zombie. I mean...
So I find the English flag louty.
Okay.
And I always found the UK Union Jack flag sort of more friendly until, apart from a few reasons. one, living in Northern Ireland, my life, and two, Brexit. So to dissect that very quickly, Northern Ireland,
you
go for it.
No, I was going to say because I was going to say I would have used the Union Jack flag before, but then Brexit happened, and now I'm kind of airing. Oh, do I actually want to be like described as English?
Yes, exactly. So prior to Brexit, the Union Jack was fine. I had no problem with it. Right? For me, it was like, well, we're UK. It's a locator flag. But if used in a wrong context in Northern Ireland, for example, one of the hardest things for me is like in my Instagram, if you want to check it out, still takes photos on Instagram. You can, I have an Irish flag and then a Union Jack and then a South African flag because I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on anymore. All right. So in Northern Ireland, if you put a tricolour, the Irish flag up, a load of people hate you. And if you put a Union Jack up, a load of people hate you.
Is that just in Northern Ireland?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really one to talk about politics in Northern Ireland. I don't really know enough about it. But generally, I find the south of the border, they don't really seem to care. Where up here, it's more of a thing, right? Catholic, Protestant, Union Jack, Irish flag. So
sure.
They've, and on the, around the 12th, when they do the marching and all that sort of stuff here, loads of people put Union Jacks up outside their house, and some of the roads and everything are riddled with them. I've always found them I've always found their presence a little bit negative, not for any other reason than just the fact that it's got a history to it, and it's like a statement, right?
Yeah.
But I now feel like that about the Union Jack generally.
Yeah.
Because I now feel like using the Union Jack is very like, oh, Brexit, regardless of what you think. It's got nothing to do with whether you agree or disagree with Brexit.
Yeah.
It's just the idea that it's like very forceful.
It's when I see the Union Jack now, all I see is Nigel Farage's face in the middle of it.
Which is a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, on so many levels, it's unreal. Yeah. I mean, that man's face at the best of times.
Generally, yeah. He reminds me of one of the
Muppets?
Tuna, the tuna from SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's because his eyes and this long face.
He reminds me of, like, you know, the Muppets. You know, you have the Professor and Beaker. You know Beaker, like the kind of one that
yeah.
It's just like he doesn't look like Beaker because Beaker's a lot better looking, but it's that kind of the way the head just goes up and down. It's a bit like
pop that up on screen. Let's have a look at Beaker versus a tuna from SpongeBob.
Okay,
if you can be bothered.
Yeah, no, I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Just let us know in the comments below. What does Nigel Farage look more like, a tuna or Beaker? And Nigel, if you're watching, vote, fella. Let us know what you think. Comment below.
Yeah.
Bet you did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I bet he does.
But yeah, I agree with you on that. It's very weird, isn't it? It's like it's changed. I think it's changed the purpose. It used to be like outside of Northern Ireland, right? So put Northern Ireland aside, it was always a flag of unity. But now it feels like a point, like like a.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into too political because I don't think it's the right place. But like now that we've left the European Union, and obviously Northern Ireland and Ireland and Scotland and Wales are very kind of generally against leaving the EU, it really kind of puts doubt on the United Kingdom as it has been. Yeah. Which is kind of, it leaves a bad taste in the mouth, as it were, And I mean, personally, I mean, in an ideal world, in my utopia, there are no countries, there are no flags and passports, and we can all live exactly wherever the fuck we want. But in reality, that's just not a thing. So, as much as I would love it to be,
Anyway, look, fuck politics, because there's enough of that going on now, and it's ruining enough of us. So, let's
talk about something just as funny.
What?
Yeah? Money.
Like, money? Yeah, actually, yes. You messaged me something the other day about money. I can't remember what it was.
Okay. Well, right. There's a bit of a long journey into this, so let's just bear with me. So the reason I texted you...
20 years ago...
20 years
ago...
A
young man called Ryan Say...
sat down...
with a full head of hair and a wealth of enthusiasm, embarked on his journey as a videographer.
Oh my god.
Fast forward 20 years later, can't even move into a fucking studio on his own.
Yeah, well, it means I have to get out the sofa, so I have to go.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Take us through this journey.
Right.
I'm interested
So
in this.
I was thinking the other day. Have you seen Money Heist on Netflix?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. When you say yes, how many episodes have you seen? How many seasons have you seen? Because I just need to be careful because we've just started season.
How many seasons are in it?
Well, there's
4?
There's 5 altogether. The 5th one is just about to be released or is being released. I can't remember.
Oh, they're on season 5. Okay, I'm halfway through episode 1 of season 1.
Oh, okay, right, okay. So I don't want to give away too much then. In that
Oh no,
case.
I quit. If you're watching Money Heist, Ryan's going to ruin it for you right now. So if you're watching Money Heist and you don't want to know, I would
not
say
gonna
to you
ruin
tune
it.
out, but don't tune out because there's only 10 people that listen to the show, so keep listening and accept that he's ruined it. I personally didn't like it, but I'll get into it later.
Well,
Go for it.
there's two. Oh God, I'm going to say this phrase, and Yasmin's going to slap me when she hears it. There's so much to unpack right now. She hates that phrase.
Does she? Why?
I don't know. It's one of those things she hates.
Jesus.
I think it's because she worked in the corporate world for so long. And it's like,
Okay.
let's just get some blue sky thinking here and let's nail the puppies to the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
And then, all those bullshit. Is it acronyms?
She used to be a designer as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she was dealing with a lot of that sort of BS. Yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
all
let's just
that.
make the picture and move on with our lives.
Get the fuck on with
Okay.
it.
So
all right.
So unpack there.
First off, you didn't like it. I'll be honest, I didn't like the first episode. One of the main reasons I didn't like it is because it was dubbed.
And there you go. End the episode. Thanks for tuning into the OverAndOut show today. Catch you next week.
Okay. Then I realized you could turn off the dubbing and put it to like normal, translation. What's it called? Closed captions. So
yeah. Oh, can you?
So-
subtitles.
subtitles. That's what they're called. So
Yeah.
once I turned those off, I was like, oh, this is so much easier. Weirdly, it's easier to watch because I
Yes.
find I would rather watch something in its native language with subtitles, especially if
I'm
it's
100% with you.
yeah, because you get the sense of the actual actors' voices, and there's so much to be heard within the act. You really get to appreciate how good an actor is, because even though you don't understand the language and you're reading, what they're saying, it's the passion that comes in with the performance, and I think you lose a lot of that when you add dubbing, because it's just Dave who's not currently
Dave.
plumbing somewhere, is doing his alternative job as a voiceover artist, is just doing it, and I think that's where the problem is because they're not actually living the moment, like the actors are.
Right.
But I think you get to you feel that when an actor, it doesn't matter what, you get to feel the sense of what they're talking about, and then you can just read it and then understand what's going on. It's brilliant. So once I turned that off, I liked it a lot more.
Okay.
But when Yasmin wanted to watch it, I was very reluctant to watch it, and I was like, "Oh, what's this bullshit? Another fucking foreign film with horrible
What
dubbing."
language is it?
It's Spanish.
What language is it?
It's made in Spain,
A European Spanish.
European Spanish.
So like
It's
when
set in
I'm
Madrid.
on there,
Yeah.
okay. European Spanish original. Got you.
So we changed it to subtitles. So now, and once I've changed it on Netflix now, everything, like all the foreign films, they're all in their native language, and now they're changed to subtitles. So obviously everything that's English is English, but everything else has subtitles. It's life changing. It really is, because it makes the film so much more enjoyable, because you get, like I said, you get the real true passion of the actors as they should be, rather than this bullshit voiceover.
I've just done that.
Yeah. Right.
Just done it while you've been telling me.
Okay, so now it's a heist film, and I'm not going to ruin anything for you.
Okay.
It is ridiculous, it's there's parts of it where you're like, I can't believe they're doing. It's like all those series, there's bits of it come out.
I can't believe what they did. Is that what you're telling me there?
Yeah, I can't believe what they did. Yeah, I think that we should call this video that and see if the clickbait works.
I can't believe what they stole.
Yeah,
Money.
and well, actually, they don't steal money. That's
That ruined then. Pamela, just delete that from the list.
No, but they do steal money. It's like you have to watch it to understand. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to talk about money is because the message I sent you the other day, I was sitting staring in the rain, like you do, and I just thought, where does money come from? Like, you know, like I'm sitting there going, right, okay, so, you know, like at the moment we've got the pandemic going on and there's this whole furlough scheme and they're just paying out millions, if not billions, to like the general public, right? And I'm like, well, where does that money come from? And so, well, the government or the country has to then borrow it from a bank. And I'm like, yeah, but where did the bank get that money from? Like, so, because in my head, there's like a dragon in a cave somewhere with all this gold dishing it out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
going,
that's what I was gonna
when
say,
does
like,
it end? You know, when do we get,
Well, that's
oh,
what I was
this is
gonna
the
say, like,
last bit of gold, you know? Because
what does money mean to you? Like, what is your interpretation of what money is?
well, I don't, I after having had this thought, I'm not sure anymore because it's,
Jesus.
well, no, because it's just either, and this is why it's relevant, because when you get to, I think I was just at the end of Money Heist, the season, the guy does a speech here and he talks about money. And he says, what is this money? It's just paper.
Fitting.
It's nothing, you know? And he said, you know, you're giving us shit for basically stealing money. But what about when the government stole all the money from there? They just created money. They just said, oh, we're going to have a cash injection. And he said, where did that money come from? You know, you're just adding paper into the ether. You're just adding zeros onto a bank account. And that really fucked with my head because, and it was weird because I'd had this thought like 3 or 4 days beforehand. And then he said that, which is all in context of the series, which you have to watch and then you'll get it. But I was like, yeah, so who decides where the zeros go and where the paper goes? Because like, this bank that says, well, I've got X amount of money. It's like, yeah, but that's just numbers on a computer. It's like if I just added a couple of zeros to my bank account, what does that mean? It's just a couple of zeros.
Quid.
Yeah, I'm a rich man. I had a pound and now I have a but like, or you add however many zeros, right? It's just numbers. That's all it is. And you're going, well, those numbers now mean that I can buy a house in the middle of Mayfair in London because I added X amount of zeros. But like, who gets to add those zeros? You know, it's
not us. That's
no,
for sure.
you don't. And the thing is that, but then you go to like, well, where does that bank get their money from? And because money, you know, in the oldie days, it was like you would get given a copper coin or a gold coin, and it'd be like, well, this is worth X. So if I hand this to you, then you have a bag of them, which is like 20 of them, and I only now have 19 in my bag, and it's like this nice equilibrium of like, well, I have this amount of stuff to give this amount of stuff to you. But now it's like number is ones and zeros. It's like, well, can't I just add a couple of zeros? Like, how easy is it that to do? You know? And where does this bank get the money from? Like, where are we borrowing money from? And then who do we have to pay it back to? You know?
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah.
Because years ago, I questioned this a little bit, and I was like, can the bank not? I think it was in the first financial crisis. When was that?
Or 2008. Well, I mean, are we talking our lifetime? I think it'd be 2008.
Our lifetime, yeah.
If we're talking before, it's like, you know, 19 something, you know, first World War.
19 something. Only a few years in there to sort of one of those years in 1990.
Well, it's all cyclical, isn't it? Because that's what the man wants.
Exactly, you know.
Carry on.
So I remember asking this question and being like, can the bank not just print more money? Right, and then this led me into like doing minimal research. So here's how I understand money, all right? And if you're out there listening to this and you're like, I understand money,
please comment.
Leave a message. Comment below. Let us know what you think of money. We're not telling you what it is. This is my opinion on how I understand money, all right? Because I have a very, like, I always say to Pamela, like, I mean, I didn't come up with the saying, but the idea that life's simple, we overcomplicate it.
And
it's like,
I told you that.
You're starting to sound like my parents. Anytime I say anything clever, we taught you that.
Yeah. No, sorry. I've just gone on standby. Hang on. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I was being your dad for a second. Oh God, I had to explain that. Damn. And now you're giving me the silent treatment, like a little bitch that you are.
Anyone listening to that will be like, what happened there? Anyway, so
If you don't know what happened,
Yeah.
watch the rest of our episodes and you'll get it.
Yeah. If you don't know how to find the show on YouTube, check out Dyllon Osborne on YouTube.
Oh my fucking god.
So, anyway.
Money.
All right.
Your opinion.
Yeah.
Please tell the
People
audience.
used to be like, I got some carrots. I grow carrots. Another
Yeah.
bro rears pigs.
Yeah.
He goes,
Does
give me
he?
some carrots for your pigs.
Sexy.
All right.
Only in
Once
South
he's
Africa.
finished rearing the pig, they swap pigs for carrots. You got some carrots. So with your pig, I got some. Anyway, you get it, right? Then somewhere
I think they
along the
call
line,
that
someone
a skill swap.
trading. Yeah, skill swap or just trade swap. So then somewhere along the line, someone decided the gold was worth something, right?
Yeah.
And then gold became this valuable item that we wanted to trade. And then you break it down, and like you said, you have coins. You've got gold coins. I got 100 gold coins. You have no gold coins. Oh, give me a gold coin. There's a gold coin. Some idiot decided you could take that gold coin and buy something to eat with it.
Yeah.
Because we as humans put value on a natural substance that doesn't really mean anything.
No. Because that gold coin, well, it's what I've read about this is it's the existence of it. Like, so gold is in let's say, was it short supply? So that's what makes it valuable. But in reality, it's like, well, I don't know, clay might be in short supply.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, does that mean it's worth as much as gold? No.
Like we fucked it. Had we made that amount of effort, like had we put that importance on rice, we'd be fine.
Well,
right
I
now.
think a lot of people put the importance on rice. Because
I
like
know,
in
but
China,
we need
and
gold to
shit
buy
like
the
that-
rice.
Yeah, but you see in China and stuff, like, you know, they'll give you a bowl of rice a day to like make a shirt for Top Man or whatever it is.
Jesus.
Oh, it's all right. Top Man have been bought out by someone, probably with gold coins. Who knows?
Yeah. So gold coins, right? And then it gets to the point where, like, in my mind, like the way I understand it is a country owns a certain amount of gold,
Yeah,
and that gold is split up to decipher how much money the country has.
Yeah.
And the more you dilute that, the less your currency's worth.
Yeah.
The same as shares in a company go.
yeah,
Okay. So I've always accepted that. Like, we've got 100 billion worth of gold. I don't know. I don't know what a lot is. You know, what's a million versus a trillion versus a billion? Who freaking knows? It means nothing to me. But say, like, we got 100 billion worth of gold. We split that up. That's what the British bank, for example, is worth.
yeah,
And then if they go, that means that 100 billion of gold means that we have, you know, 30 trillion in cash. These are numbers that mean nothing to us,
well,
right?
especially to
And then you go, yeah, let's be more realistic, right? We've got £100 of gold,
Yeah,
and that equates to £100,000 of cash. And then that's what we've deemed the rate, the currency, or what gold's worth. And then we go, here, we're about fucking short for cash.
But
let's print another 100,000.
but you know what
therefore
the worst thing.
halving the worth of gold.
Yeah, but you know what the worst thing is about that is you saying we have decided that. We haven't decided that. Someone somewhere has decided that that is beneficial for them.
Yeah, but you have to remember, it's a very, like, you know, people making the decisions are
Yeah.
pretty educated, you know, respectable people. They're not like
Really?
Boris Johnson, for example.
Are you
Hold on.
sure?
Hold on, no, don't worry about that. Take it all back. That's the way I see it. Now, I always accepted that, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, that for me is like how a TV works. I can't really comprehend it, so I'm happy to accept it.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that works. Until the last year just happened in my life. Mm-hmm. And then a few weeks ago, because it was so weird, right? So Ryan messaged me a couple of days ago and was like, what does money mean? And I was like, holy shit.
I love the way
Echo chamber,
the way,
echo chamber,
the way
echo
you say
chamber.
that is like I just did one message going, "Hi Dylan, what does money mean?" You were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're talking about that."
Dear Dylan,
Yeah,
hope you're keeping well. We're doing very good.
I
The
know we
family
haven't
are
spoken
keeping-
for 8
Yes,
hours.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask you, what does money mean? Question marks. Kind regards, Ryan Say of Chiswick.
Yeah.
All right. So Ryan Say of Chiswick
Mm-hmm.
messaged Dylan Osborne of Bangor and said, what does money mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, that's so fucking weird. I was talking to Pamela about this the other day. And I was like, this last year where I haven't used cash, the only time I used cash was to buy a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I haven't used cash, haven't been given cash. Everything's been paid into my bank. Everything's been transferred electronically. And I was like, what the fuck does money mean? I felt exactly the same. And I was like, this doesn't make sense anymore. Like,
No, and it's
I'm doing a job. Someone's going, there's some numbers. on a website, and I go, thanks for those numbers. Let me put some of those numbers into this account, some of those numbers into there. Let me give those numbers to that person for that room that I work out of. And then at the end of the year, HMRC goes, oi, 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 you fucking owe us some numbers.
Yeah,
and
but
there's a few numbers.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing is when HMRC go, you owe us this amount of numbers. It's like, well, how many numbers do I owe? Well, you've got to work that out for us. Oh, okay, I'll work that out for you. Oh, that's not the amount you owe. Well, if you knew the amount I owe, then why the fuck am I having to work it out? And why don't you just tell me how much I owe? Go fuck yourself, HMRC. Yeah. It's like don't get me started on
if
those
you do your own tax return, or if you don't do your own tax return, basically you pay your tax at the end of the year as a freelancer. Okay, so I, for the first year this time, had to do what Ryan's had to do a few times, which was pay a balance on account. So at the end of last year, I paid my tax for the year, and then they said, based on this, you have to pay a balance on account. So a small amount, or like towards next year, and then you have to pay another amount in July. And I was like, I've never had to pay a balance of account. So I paid my balance on account, and in July I had to pay more. And theoretically, if I pay £100 and then I pay another £100 in July, when I get to January and they go, you owe £400, I should only owe £200 because I've already paid £200. But we got to January and they give me the full amount. You owe £400. And I was like, what the fuck? I've already paid you. But at no point did their system work it out. No. So I had to just go, assuming that they know I gave them £200, I'm only gonna pay you £200 to balance it. But then they write, you have to pay us the right amount. As you said, we don't know what that is, but you better fucking get it right. Because if you get it wrong, we're coming for you. And I was like, for 4 days, I was in a cold sweat.
It's the most
just trying to give them some
system.
numbers.
You know, it's so fucked up. Like I have to pay VAT, and that's really it's a thing. And what I did is they said, it's time to submit your VAT, and so I went blah blah blah, submitted £200 or whatever it was, submitted that, and now they're telling me, thank you for your £200. Yeah. But then when I log on to the HMRC website, they're saying, you owe us £200 VAT, yet you owe £200 in credit.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, well, so what you're telling me is that I owe you money, but you're also telling me at the same time that I have £200 in there, like just sitting there.
For you.
So you haven't worked out that £200 is for you. And I've just gone, fuck it, I don't care. Because if they come back to me and go, you haven't paid your £200, it's like, yes, I have. It's there. You just couldn't fucking work it out. Like now, and I resent the fact that I have to pay to have my to do either in my own time or I have to pay an accountant to do those taxes and stuff and VAT. And I don't like it when they give me shit. It's like, no, take it and just accept it. And the whole reason they don't do that is because, and the reason why you had to pay an account, and this is one big bugbear of mine, which a lot of people don't understand. And one of our friends, who shall remain nameless, was like, it was when we were talking about taxes and that kind of thing. And they're like, you mean I have to pay tax and I have to do this and I have to do that and do the other. And it frustrates me because the reason I have to pay on account is because people don't save for their taxes. You know, I have a system which I've told you, and I know it's really been beneficial for you.
I've actually created a course online.
Of course you have.
Buy all about that.
At Dill Takes Photos, go fuck yourself. .com.
To be fair, like Ryan did give me a pretty simple structure, and it was basic saving, but it actually helps a lot. It really does. It's just as you get paid for a job, you distribute that money to those numbers. When you get numbers from a company from doing work,
you distribute those numbers into different things.
You put them numbers in different parts of the interwebs, and then at the end of the year, you've got numbers in different places.
But even the fact that you have to do that is mental. Right?
It is mental.
It's just like, so you're putting 0s and 1s and 4s and 5 into like different things on a spreadsheet. I don't know. Money to me now is just so weird. It's just, I used to be a concept where like you have more, and now it seems the more you have, the more trouble you have. But it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. As I get older, I find that like the whole kind of skill, and like when you get to a point where I think you're comfortable, and you suddenly realize that like, oh well, I'm comfortable now, so I'm not having. I mean, it's not like I'm in an awful situation, which a lot of people in this country are, which is like the whole food poverty. You know, not enough money to feed your kids, and that fucking blows my mind, because
Yeah.
you know, we go out and we spend like £50 a week on food or whatever it is, and there are people out there that can't give their kids Weetabix for breakfast, and they have to rely on school, and that fucking blows my mind. That people like, we're in a situation in the Western world where we can't sort that out. Like, people don't have enough money to fucking even, you know, give Weetabix and a cheese sandwich for lunch. I mean, like, really?
Yeah, it's
That blows
crazy,
my
isn't
mind.
it?
That blows
That
my mind.
happens here.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
And
Then I have to admit, and this is maybe a very controversial sentence to say, but when that's happening, I've never understood sending money to other parts of the world.
no, I mean,
unless it's like something that's happened, like a tsunami, or I get it when it's like shock, but when it's like countries that have had poverty forever and we've been sending money forever, and as being a South African human being that lived out there where we had first and third world stuff, and then like you'd have seen stories and stuff of what happens to some of the money and the corruption, and I'm like, it's okay, like I love the idea of trying to help people like that, but the reality of it is, if you've still got shit happening on your doorstep, deal with that first.
Yeah, the thing is,
surely that should be a priority.
The thing is, I don't think it's as easy as that. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I was watching a Jordan Peterson YouTube video, and he was basically giving Greta Thunberg shit, basically going, it's all very well, all you millennials, going, here's the 200 goals that we want to achieve with climate change, and he was like, you're all fucking insane. It's like, 200 goals, that's not goals, that's a wish list. You know, and he said, like, right, if you really want to, like, his whole thing is that if you want to have an effect on on climate change, you need to bring people out of poverty. He said, but no one wants to do that, because that means that people won't be poor anymore, and you won't have control over them effectively. And then the other thing as well is that he was saying that, like, and if you really want to have an effect on global warming, climate change, you know, okay, you got to stop using your phone, you got to stop using your car, you've got to stop going by public transport, you have to really regulate what you eat. And you're like, none of you are going to do that. And he was like speaking at Oxford University or something to all these millennials, and you know, or us millennials, as it were. And like, it's true. It's too complicated. It's too difficult to like solve all these problems. But actually it's really easy. But the thing is no one wants to do it, because once you change and make everything better for everyone, you've got to realize that there aren't any cunts in the world, which there are a lot. And B, people don't want to change. Because the thing is,
he just drops the C-bomb there, super cash.
Yeah, sorry, I had to.
Second time on the show. He's right though. Sometimes that word is the only word that works.
It's true though. It's the thing is that that there are people out there that everything's really simple and we could change everything, but there are people that want too much, and equality is not something that's preferable to a lot of people in charge, and that doesn't work. And that's
funny, man.
Is money.
Because Pamela and I had a chat today about something random.
Yeah.
We were talking about something like that. I can't remember what the hell it was about, but
about her not being in the kitchen.
Jesus.
Yeah. What were you talking about?
She said something to me. I think we were talking about like just generally, the greater good, right?
Yeah.
And she was talking about like decisions that are made. And she's like, I don't understand why we can't just make decisions for the greater good. I can't remember what the topic was about, but that was said, right?
Yeah.
And I said to her, like, I'm with you on that. Oh, no, we were talking about politicians and people being in charge.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to someone the other day that said they were like, I quite like Putin and quite like what his mindset. And I was like, all right. And I said the problem with like politics generally is like politicians, their job is actually to take on board everyone's opinion and come up with a decision that doesn't really piss any particular party off too much.
Yeah.
It's not, I said, well, they can't make a decision for the greater good. Because if they made a decision for the greater good, it would be ruthless. And that kind of ties in with what you're saying about global warming. Like Greta, you know, shout out to Greta if you listen to the show.
Yeah.
I watched a TV show with her recently where she went to the States to do some talk. First off, like, you know, young girl dealing with a lot, putting herself in a limelight. You know, there's a lot involved there.
Yeah.
Dealing with something with a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Never have I seen such a miserable looking bastard in my entire life. I watched it and just thought, I said, I'd never really watched much. I said to her, is that what she looks like all the face? Like fucking face on her like a lemon.
See,
I was like, come on, love. Like, I looked at her and just thought, I can't be fucked. And she's waving at people, and there's people coming out to meet her, and she's waving at them like she can't be fucked. And this whole thing was her going to the States for some rally. But she was like, I'm not going to fly. I was like, all right, fair enough. Stand by that decision. 3 weeks on a boat, on a fucking catamaran. And I was like, and she's like, and like literally 2 days in, I feel sick. I'm like, yeah, because you're taking a fucking catamaran to bloody the USA for 3 weeks. Like, the thing is that's the reality. And it's like, that's cool, her doing that for 3 weeks once to make a point. But if you and I want to go to visit America, and we're like, yeah, let's do it responsibly. Let's take a sailing boat.
Yeah. See, the thing is that
See you in 3 weeks.
The problem I can like your friend or whoever it said they like the idea of Putin. Yeah, I get that. It's the same thing why people like Trump. But the thing is what you actually need, and this is just like probably controversial here, is you need benevolent dictatorship. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, people want to be told what to do. That's my opinion. And the thing is when you give people too many options, it becomes too complicated. But at the same time, when you have some nutter like Putin or Trump in power, they're like, well, you know, and like we know in the 1940s, it's like that's what happens. If you if you take on a dictatorship, it can go very wrong very quickly. You know, and you can start making some really fucking stupid decisions that end up with really bad global consequences.
Yeah,
and
it
trouble
might be
is,
for the greater good, but it's a ruthless decision on one party.
Yeah, and the trouble is that most people that get into politics, and there was a great show that I think a comedian Rich Hall did, the American guy, and the thing is that when to be a politician like Boris Johnson, or Trump or something, it's like that whole tour thing they have to do, and the amount of work and like public meetings and all that stuff you have to do. It's the kind of work. It's harder than being going on tour with One Direction. You know, it's so difficult to do.
Hell. That would be hard.
Like this relentless tour of like you have to shake hands with people every day, you have to meet fucking morons that ask you questions the same every day, and you're like, fuck's sake, I just want to do this. And the thing is, the kind of people that are able to do that are sociopaths and psychopaths that want to run the country. And the reality is that the kind of person that you want running the country will never run the country because they do not want to go through that process, because they're not like that, because they're not up for they don't want power in that sense. They're given power as like a sense of privilege rather than a desire.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. And the people that are doing a good thing, like who are looking after the decent stuff, haven't got, or maybe also don't have the backbone for that.
Well, the other thing as well is they because if you take time to watch any of the like the Houses of Parliament stuff, there are some, and I don't want to like diss the whole of the MPs in the UK, because there are some really good members of Parliament that are really trying to make a difference and really have some great ideas, and they are quashed and they are pushed to the bottom because they're only the MP of Hull or whatever the fuck it is, arse end of nowhere, and no one gives a shit about them. But they got into that job in their local town because they believe in helping people. And you can see they're just like, they've got great ideas, and it'd be great to bring these people to the front of the table. But the people up top that are dealing with like the big stuff and all the money don't give a shit, because it's not big enough. It's like, well, is that good? Like, helping all the children have school meals and, you know, give them a better education, so maybe they can actually create or like come up with the cure for cancer, or, you know, poverty, or, you know, how to feed the planet. No, we don't want to do that, because that's scary. Because if we give people power, that means we have less power. It's like it's so fucked up the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, but the answer is to educate everyone. Education's like the scariest thing to government. And that's why America just shove all the ethnic minorities in jail. Because, like, God, you don't want to rehabilitate them and give them a chance to work, because then they'll have, like, intelligence. You know, it's fucked up. Anyway,
And
I
it's
don't
a,
get
and
too
it's a
dark
hard
here.
it's a hard thing for us, the general public, to really understand. And I think
Yeah.
like just to close that off, I think the best advice I guess I could give to really get an understanding of what that's like and how to how to really appreciate what government are going is to watch the documentary series about President Kirkman.
Oh yeah, designated survivor.
Designated Survivor on
Yeah.
TV. Because I watch that show. I watch that TV show sometimes. Not like fuck politics. Because he's just like this. Let's do something good. Oh, you're all being dickheads, right? Well, fuck you then. Why don't we do this?
You know what the funny thing is though about that show is the reason why he's so good at what he does in that show is because he wasn't put into the position of power through election. He was put there because he was just the person that had to do it. And that's what makes him so great, is because it's like, I know it's a TV show and it's like
well,
it's
not actually a documentary for the
Yeah.
people that insist on going.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's not actually factually.
It's a nice utopia that he lives in because it's not easy, all the stuff he has to do.
No.
But the thing is, he didn't design. And this happens like there's a Greek story somewhere, like they had some farmer that everyone respected, and then the country had to go to war, and he was put in charge. He didn't want to be, but they won all these wars, and the country prospered for ages. And then he went back to being a farmer at the end because he's like, I don't want to rule. I just needed to lead at that point. But because you're not pushed into it, but you're given it as by the grace of God, as it were, you then make better decisions because you didn't want the power in the first place. So you have to make decisions like based on what's good as opposed to what's going to keep me in power.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go, folks.
Jesus Christ.
You know, not just a show about TikTok dancing, also two very well-informed gents in their late 30s.
With opinions.
You know, with nothing but the truth here.
No, we've got
well-researched facts, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's money worth? Fuck all. What's politics worth? Fuck all. What's the point? Fuck all. Good luck with the rest of your lives, I guess.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit the bell for notifications so you know when we've uploaded new videos.
Yeah.
And until then, we'll catch you.
We'll just catch you. We'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully it won't be a sofa series.
Yeah. You fucking desk organized, fella. Right, laters.
See you later.